when I was about 17 in college, there was quite an unpleasant teacher that we had during one course that I was doing, and he sent me outside. Really hated me because I could never answer his questions. I wasn't an enthusiastic student. He pinned me up against the wall and he said, "It's because of scum like you, our country, Great Britain is going down the pan, is in decline because of scum like you."
This is a narrative about a man who rewrote his life story. He courageously questioned some of his darkest and deepest beliefs about himself.
And I just remember being so shocked. I was just this very naive 17-year-old kid. I wasn't a bad kid. And I always remember that because I was like, well, look, you know, you sent me out because I couldn't answer your question. It's not my fault. I have a reading comprehension problem, which plagued me throughout my entire childhood. I would misunderstand a lot of stories when I was a kid. It's hard for me to read. Sometimes the words move a little bit. If I'm reading an example, "do not open the door," my eyes might miss the word "not." So I would avoid reading like the plague. I would never want to talk about it or discuss it. I became, at the age of 13 and most certainly 14 years of age, totally withdrawn from school and learning. I just looked at the classroom as a very dark place. I didn't like being in class. And so when I started secondary school, a few teachers picked up on the fact that I couldn't read. What was conclusive was that I had a problem if I read text on a white background. That's why now I change the background color, and it means that I can then focus and my comprehension is much better. But it wasn't until the age of 22 that I read my first book. I'd never read a book before that. My friend who got me through college, because I used to copy off him, he recommended a book series called the Discworld novels. I really respected him. He'd got me through college, so I thought, okay, I'll give this book a go. And I started reading these wonderful books. When I was younger, I looked at not being able to read and having reading comprehension difficulties and avoiding any form of literature as that is my weakness and I'll always avoid it for the rest of my life, Only when I got into my when I became 30, 31, I realized that when you're weak at something, it can be the greatest thing that ever happens to you. Out of boredom and feeling sorry for myself, I started writing with no idea what I was writing or how you even write. And at the same time, I was reading a lot of self-improvement books. And so I started to reprogram, essentially, my inner beliefs. Once I'd written that book and realized, all these stigmas that I had inside my subconscious mind, that I was stupid, that I was slow, that I would never do anything cool with my life. Once I realized that they weren't true, that they were just old beliefs. Once I got on the right track, so to speak, I can now look back and be very grateful for the fact that I struggle to read, because now when I can't do something, it will not stop me. I now look at those days when I would basically throw a book away and no way do I want to read that, and I would give up. Now I'm the total opposite. I won't give up.
At the end, maybe this is a story about all of us. After all, don't we all have old self-beliefs that limit our potential? Perhaps, like Jamie, it's time to rewrite our own story.